Michigan Outdoor Obsessions Beyond the Backyard is brought to you by Ultimate Archery and Outdoors, Ultimate Deer Products, Red Light Food Plot Seed Company, Edge Attracts Incorporated, Jay's Sporting Goods, and Tacticam. Hey, it's Steve of Michigan Outdoor Obsession, and welcome back to our podcast, Beyond the Backyard. Today, we're going to be diving into a challenge a lot of us face, hunting whitetail bucks on small parcels of land. As always, this episode is brought to you by Ultimate Archery and Outdoors, Ultimate Deer Products, Red Light Food Plot Seed Company, Edge Attracts Incorporated, Tacticam, and Jay's Sporting Goods. Now, when I talk about small parcels, I'm talking about maybe 10 or maybe 20 acres, something less. You don't need 300 acres to kill a giant buck in Michigan. You just need the right plan, patience, and a little creativity. But let's get into it. So first of all, you can face a lot of challenges with small parcels. Let's be real. Hunting a small piece of land on its own comes with its own struggles. Limited stand locations, not being able to pressure deer too much, which is easy to do on a small piece of land, and your neighbor's hunting habits can affect you just as much as your own. So you might be doing the right stuff, but because you have such a small piece, your neighbor might be affecting how your deer move as well. Now, don't let that discourage you. Small parcels can still produce big bucks if you play it smart. On a small property, scouting is everything. You need to know every tree, trail, and scrape on your property. Now, what we need to focus on are three things here. Deer travel routes. You want to look for pinch points, natural funnels, and fence gaps. Entry and exit paths. How you get in and out without blowing up the woods is huge. You got to make sure you have a nice clear path to your stands without kicking everything off your property. And where is your bedding at? Even if it's on your neighbor's land, know where those deer bed at all times. That would directly affect in how you move into your stand, how you hunt your property. Use your trail cams wisely. Don't jam every other day. Let them soak. You want intel, not disruption. Obviously, now with our reveal cell cams, that has changed a huge part of it. You're not having to go out there and pull your card every 4, 5, 6, 7 days. You can just get it to your phone, which is a huge thing, and not disrupting your land. This is key. You can't overhunt it. You might only get a couple of high odd sits in each season, and that's okay. It's better to wait for right conditions than burn out your spot. Now, like I said, you're dealing with small parcels, so you don't want to burn out your property too quick into the season. Some tips for that is don't hunt every wind. Skip the morning hunts unless you know exactly where they're bedded. And keep your scent to a minimum. Think rubber boots, scent-free clothing, and smart wind setups. If you have the ability to, have a couple different stands that can play different types of winds. If you have one setup, you're kind of really stuck to only that one wind direction to hunt it. On a small property, your stand placement is everything. Don't just put a stand where you see deer. Place it where you can actually hunt without getting busted. We've talked about this numerous times. A lot of people, when they go out, they'll tell you what they saw. Well, I saw this buck, that buck, this buck. But were they actually ever in shooting distance? It's not about just having deer that are within eyesight. These bucks have to be in a spot where you actually can put a shot at them. So make sure that you are in a spot that is not only seeing deer, but also within a range to actually shoot these. On a small property, your placement is everything. Like I said, don't just put them where you just see deer. Place it where you actually hunt them without getting busted. Set up on the edges, especially early season. Use screen cover like tall grass. And a hide and seek from Red Light Food Plot Seed Company, that stuff was 10 feet tall. You can put that in a spot where it'll kind of conceal you as you walk into your stand. Maybe around your food plot on the side that you walk into your stand at, you put a wall of hide and seek or cover screen there to help you get in and out of your stand. And then next, think about noise discipline. The less disturbance, the better your odds. Try to be quiet. Maybe rake a path in through the woods that you have a lot of leaves so that way you can quietly get in and out of your stand. And if possible, create sanctuary zones. I know this can be tough with small property parcels to create a sanctuary zone where you're not going to go into, but even if it's just an acre or two that you never enter, give those deer a reason to feel safe on your land. The next step that, like I said, we deal with neighbors when we have small parcels is work with your neighbors, not against them. Here's a big one. On small properties, you're not on an island. What your neighbors do matters, so build a relationship with them. If they're trigger happy, that's fine. You can still kill a buck that's slipping through, avoiding pressure. But if you got like-minded neighbors, maybe all you do is you agree to pass small bucks. That's where things get fun. If you can get on the same page, at least about that, that will greatly affect your property and the kind of bucks that you see. Next is small parcel habitat hacks. First of all, let's talk improvements. Even on a piece, you can plant a tiny kill plot, which is typically an eighth of an acre, that can be dynamite. Use box scrapes and licking branches to stop bucks in their shooting lanes. Add structure, which can be down trees or brush piles to guide deer movement. Like when I'm cutting down trees, I don't just throw the brush anywhere. I'll throw the brush typically in spots where I don't want deer to come through, and maybe bust me. So if I'm going to cut some trees down, I'll bring that brush around and drag it to a spot, almost like a wall, where they can't come from a certain direction. Like I said, force them into a certain area, kind of direct their movement without them really knowing it. And I love mock scrapes. I always believe that using mock scrapes and licking branches, the more times you can get deer to stop on your property to check a scrape, check a mock scrape, the better chance you have of shooting that buck. Especially with small properties. You have 10 acres, they can move through that property fairly quickly if you have nothing there. They're going to come in, they're going to see there's no does there, they're going to move in. Now, if you have mock scrapes and licking branches, now there's a good chance they're going to stop, they're going to go check all their scrapes, they're going to check those licking branches. You're giving yourself more time, more chances to get maybe a chance on those nice mature bucks. So here's the deal. Small parcels aren't limiting. They're just different. With good intel, smart pressure, and a little patience, they can be just as productive and way more rewarding. So hunting small ground teaches you to be precise, to think ahead, and to respect every decision that you make in the woods. So don't let the size of your land keep you from dreaming big. Then that next big buck might be one smart sit away. It's doing all these things, playing the wind, putting stuff out there as far as mock scrapes, watching how you walk into your stand, creating a relationship with your neighbor, hopefully maybe get on the same path, could really help you possibly have a successful 2025 deer season. Thanks for listening today. I hope you can take some of this and help you this year in your hunting if you're dealing with small acreage. If you hunt small property, I'd love to hear your story. Send me a message on Facebook Messenger or at email at michiganoutdoorobsession@gmail.com. We would love to hear about what's going on in your neck of the woods. But until next time, be safe, shoot straight, and hunt smart.